Oh yeah, I'm going there. Welcome everyone to the 90th character in this series of videos about various Nintendo, third-party, various newcomer ideas for the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And as I mentioned in the last video with Kazuma Kiryu, the Dragon of Dojima, as character number 89 from Yakuza, I mentioned when I jumped back into character 90, I'm going to be jumping back into the world of Fire Emblem for this next Nintendo character. And people would probably be going crazy because I've talked about literally like 9, well, not actually 9, it's probably more like 7 Fire Emblem characters so far. But this is my list, and I view a lot of Fire Emblem characters as possible. And I want to jump back into Fire Emblem Echoes because there's at least 1 or 4 characters I still want to talk about in other Fire Emblems too. So, hint, we can no spoilers, there's more Fire Emblem characters on the list. But yes, I mentioned that character number 90 was going to be Gray from Fire Emblem Echoes. And people will be wondering, like, why would you pick Gray? Why would you pick Gray over Celica? Why would you pick Gray over Why do you represent Gray in Smash Brothers? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. 3 simple categories. Why does the character make sense? Moves ideas, and percentage chance I can see him getting in. Gray, specifically right here. First and foremost, it's not specifically him, but what he represents if he gets into Smash Brothers. Every Fire Emblem character we've gotten so far has been a main character, a lord, one of the major characters in the game. We've never gotten a side character represented. So to see someone like him representing the game shows you Sakurai is breaking that trend and giving us characters that are side characters. And in my opinion, he is probably one of the most popular, important characters from Fire Emblem Echoes. The remake, because Gaiden was the original game, Fire Emblem 2 on the Famicom. Basically, he was kind of a generic character back then, but then the remake basically improved every single character in the game, and he improved his character so much, his characterization, his personality so much, and he is probably one of the most popular characters from, Fire Emblem Echoes, and I've seen people like him. He is a well-liked character, so he has popularity on his side. He has relevancy now because of Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia being a remake of Gaiden. His class types will be very original, very different. He is the Villager class type, and if you know the Fire Emblem franchise, the Villager class type can pretty much class change and promote into almost anything. If you play Fire Emblem Awakening, you know Donnie. He's one of those class types. The likes of Gray is one of them. He is a Villager class type, so he can class change into multiple things. And I use that as a liberty. I used that as a possibility to diversify his moveset. And he's also utilized outside of his own game. They put him in Fire Emblem Heroes, which is one of the most popular phone games now. It is pretty much Nintendo's most popular, selling, for all the little things you could buy in the game and whatnot, mobile phone game. So he's utilized outside his main game, so he's in those cameo spin-off type stuff. I know he wasn't including Warriors and whatnot, but there's always more Fire Emblem spin-offs in the future. Maybe they'll include him, but he made it in the Heroes. He is a fairly popular character from the remake, which is a legendary game in the franchise, which is only the second one after Marth's first game. And he represents the side character, and his class type can make him very original and different, so all you sword haters can be settling down for a moment. He may use a sword somewhere in my moveset, but it doesn't make him any more or less original. So that's basically why I feel he should be in. Or at least someone that represents, that style of side character, villager type thing should be in. But I do think Gray, I love Gray's personality. I think he's a cool character. He's one of my favorite characters in Echoes, and I'd love to see him represent Smash Brothers, even as an assist trophy. Moveset ideas. Yes, he uses a sword. Oh no, you're gonna come after me. You could settle down. I know you sword haters don't want any more sword users in this game, especially from Fire Emblem, which, quite frankly, I'd rather see Edelgard or Celica or Dimitri or Claude. Mind you, I want to see them more, especially Edelgard and Celica. But his moveset I see as a mix of a sword and a lance. Why? Like I said, I'm taking liberties with the Villager class type. And one of the major, class types he can go into, 3 of them, or 2 of them I should say, is a mercenary and a soldier. And I picked mercenary as his primary moveset thing because I did a little bit of research, found out mercenary is his best class type he can go into. His best stats come from the mercenary, so I took most of his thing from a mercenary. So he's kind of like, Ike, in a way. So I basically his moveset's primarily a mercenary. He has a sword and a shield. The brave sword and a generic plain shield. The brave sword is one of the basic swords you get earlier in the game. So it's a decently strong critical type sword, but it's not like super legendary at the end of the game thing. So I want to kind of make him semi basic. But it's a 2-for-1 thing. I know I mentioned a lot of 3-for-1s: Miriam, Yuri Lowell, Byleth, multiple words. So like down B, you switch out between a sword and a shield and a lance. The lance will be the silver lance, which is even more basic than the freaking brave sword. I don't want to make him 2-in-1. So basically, when you have the sword out, you're more faster and doing less damage. But when you're doing the lance, you're slower and you do more damage. There you go. That's his main smash attacks. Will basically be switching between a sword and a shield, the brave sword and a shield, and the silver lance. And all like jab, 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 slicing up and down, or the sword shield block. So he basically kind of would fight like a mercenary-esque version of Alm, because Alm has a sword and shield too. His special attacks, this is more so mixing up like what the mercenary class can do, which some of these he actually can use in the game, so it's representing him as well. Like I said, I'm primarily representing him as a mercenary with a little bit of soldier on the side. He can use a dagger, so one of his special attacks is him pulling out a little dagger and doing little swipes and jabs with a little dagger, so it's a little close range attack. And he can use a bow, so he shoots a bow, and it'll be like Link, or what I mentioned with Byleth, or what I mentioned with Claude, or stuff like that, or various other bow characters I've had, and it's like Decidueye and whatnot. They can use a bow. So his distance attack will be a bow, but it's not his only distance attack because he can use the lightning sword. And I didn't want to make this his actual sword because this thing isn't actually a physical hand-to-hand sword in the game. You use the sword up and lightning comes down in front of you. So it's going to be kind of like Pikachu and Pichu's down B type thing where you can bring lightning down, except instead of on top of you, it'll be a few feet in front of you. So I mentioned the same thing with like other characters, like I think like Celica, because some of the magic comes down too. So basically, the bow will be his forward range attack, and then the dagger will be up close and personal, and then the lightning sword will be coming down like 5 feet in front of you. You bring the lightning down, he's just like, yeah, and then any opponent in front of you will receive about 5 to 10% damage. So that's like his range attack, but like medium range. Bows long range and daggers close, while the smash attacks are mixed between switching between the lance and the sword and shield. And now the final smash. I wanted to represent this because I haven't actually beaten Echoes yet, but this is kind of the canon ending to the game and the closest relationship you can get, because technically they get married. But I wanted to represent the character Claire as well, because technically Claire and Gray at the end of the game are canon married. Okay, there's basically that. So I wanted to represent that, and she's a Pegasus Knight. So basically, this cutscene, he'll slice. It'll be a cutscene based one. He'll just dash forward. He'll be like pulling out a sword, and this will be the stage. This will be him, and he'll just dash forward against any opponent caught in it. We'll be put in the cutscene. You'll be put in the middle of a fire on the battlefield. Claire will fly in on her Pegasus, and then she just like attacks the opponent. She just comes down with her lance, and they're all like stunned. All the opponents are like, "Oh!" And then Gray will rush forward and just start slashing up the opponents, and then summon her to come down. He jumps. He rides the Pegasus with her up into the air, and then he drops off. And he's like, and then he's gonna blow up the stage. The Claire double team, husband and wife double team battle, kind of thing. So yeah, there you go. I want that. Then that way, I also represent another character from the game, which you basically mentioned. I did like Flynn with Yuri, the various party members like Colette with Lloyd. I like representing other characters from the game. I don't just want to represent certain characters sometimes, but someone that they can team up with, someone else from their game. So there's that. And that's it for his final smash. Percentage chance I can see him getting in. It's surely not a big one. Definitely think the next Fire Emblem characters are going to be, if it's an Echoes character, it's going to be Alm or Celica most definitely. If it's Three Houses character, which I think is very possible for DLC, it's going to be like some Elgard, Dimitri, Claude, or Byleth. So those characters all got very good percent chances. I gave them all like 80 plus, except for Dimitri and Claude, I gave them like 40, 60 range. But like Elgard, Byleth, Celica, and Alm, those are the next 4 possible choices for any Fire Emblem character in this game in Smash Bros. Ultimate, Smash Bros. 5, whatever. Those are the ones I see. Gray, as cool as would be, he's not very likely. I'm giving him a 20%. It's possible if they just want to be like, oh, you know what, Alm and Celica, poof! No, let's put Gray in there. It's possible, but it's so not probable. He doesn't even really deserve 20 for it, but I think 20 would be cool because I think 20 works because I think it's possible for his popularity alone. He is probably one of the characters from the remake that actually improved so much and made him such a much better character, and he's one of the most popular characters in Echoes. So if they wanted to represent a side character from the likes of Echoes, Shells, Valentia, or Three Houses, he, in my opinion, is the best one to bridge that gap to non-lore, non-main character Fire Emblem characters, and I think he is a good choice. And it could be very interesting how much they can diversify him with the Villager, jumping between like a Cavalier or a Soldier or a Mage or a Pegasus Knight or a Mercenary, Dread Fighter, whatever. Just mixing different class types together would be kind of cool. Because in the way I kind of represent him as a Cavalier, Soldier mixed in with a Mercenary, and then you get the Pegasus Knight because of the Claire Final Smash, and it's kind of cool. And the Archer with the bow and whatnot. So it's various different things. And it makes it have a very original Fire Emblem moveset, which a lot of you guys want. So that's a 20%, not very likely. Still possible, but very unlikely. It's more likely Alm, Celica, Byleth, or Edelgard. And that's it for character number 90, Gray from Fire Emblem Echoes. Put in the comments, guys, if you guys like the moveset ideas, that I diversified it with the likes of the Villager class type promotions. My reasons make sense. What reasons would you have? Would you pick someone else? Put in the comment section below. Your moveset, my final smash, 20% too high, too low. Put it down there. We can discuss it and have fun. In character number 91, I'm going to be jumping into another Nintendo franchise that has yet to be in Smash Bros. And I think it kind of deserves to get in there, even though it hasn't had a game since the DS. And that's going to be Ray MK3, or Ray Mark III, from Custom Robo Arena, the Custom Robo franchise. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.